For most of human history, the night belonged to predators. When the sun disappeared, the world changed. The darkness wasn't empty. It watched, and somewhere beyond the glow of a dying campfire, yellow eyes stared back. Wolves. For thousands of years, humans and wolves were competitors. We hunted the same animals. We followed the same migration routes. We wanted the same food. In theory, we should have remained enemies forever. But then something strange happened. One side made an offer, and the other accepted. That single decision would change the future of both species. Because what happened next didn't just create dogs, it created civilization itself. And it may have permanently changed what it means to be human. Most people imagine domestication as a brilliant invention. A caveman sees a wolf. The wolf wags its tail. Friendship begins. Reality was far messier. Neither humans nor wolves knew what they were doing. There was no master plan, no strategy, no blueprint, just survival. Imagine a human camp 30,000 years ago. Food is scarce. Every calorie matters. After a successful hunt, scraps are left behind, bones, skin, bits of meat, waste. For a hungry wolf, that's an opportunity. Most wolves stayed away. Humans were dangerous, but a few wolves were different. A little less aggressive, a little less fearful, a little more willing to take risks. Those wolves approached, and surprisingly, they survived. Generation after generation, the friendliest wolves gained access to easy food. The friendliest wolves produced more offspring. And slowly something extraordinary began happening. The wolves started changing, not because humans intentionally bred them, because evolution rewarded the wolves that could tolerate humans. Their bodies shifted, their behavior shifted, their brains shifted. Over time, those wolves stopped being wolves. They became something entirely new. Dogs. But here's where the story gets weird. Really weird. Because scientists discovered that whenever an animal becomes domesticated, certain changes keep appearing again and again. Different species, different continents, different time periods. Yet the same pattern emerges. Floppy ears, shorter snouts, smaller brains, changes in hormones, changes in behavior, white patches of fur, reduced aggression. Researchers call this pattern Domestication Syndrome, and it shows up almost everywhere. Dogs, pigs, horses, rabbits, foxes, goats. The moment an animal starts evolving to live alongside humans, nature begins rewriting it. But what if the story didn't stop there? What if humans weren't just rewriting animals? What if animals were rewriting us too? Because that's exactly what appears to have happened. And the evidence is hiding inside your face, your teeth, your skeleton, even your immune system. Before domestication, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. We moved constantly. We rarely stayed in one place. If resources disappeared, we left. If disease appeared, we moved. For hundreds of thousands of years, this strategy worked. Then animals entered the equation and everything changed. Dogs helped us hunt. They tracked prey, detected danger, protected camps. Suddenly humans became more efficient, more successful, more secure. For the first time, survival became slightly easier. An easier survival creates a dangerous temptation. Stay longer, build more, store food, expand, depend. Then came sheep, goats, cattle, pigs. Animals transformed from companions into infrastructure. Food became predictable, labor became predictable, life became predictable, and humans began building something nature had never seen before: permanent settlements. At first, this seemed like a victory, but every advantage came with a hidden cost. Because when thousands of animals live beside thousands of humans, something else thrives too: microbes. Lots of them. Imagine standing in a village surrounded by livestock, animal waste everywhere, contaminated water, crowded living spaces, constant biological exposure to bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi. For the first time in human history, diseases had the perfect environment: a breeding ground, a laboratory, a launch platform. And many of the diseases that would eventually kill millions of humans began making the jump from animals. Smallpox, influenza, tuberculosis, the very creatures helping us survive were also creating entirely new ways to die. Think about that for a second. The animals feeding us were simultaneously engineering our greatest biological threats. The partnership had a price, and we paid it repeatedly for thousands of years. But disease wasn't the only thing changing. Humans themselves were changing, physically, biologically, evolutionarily. Hunter-gatherers had powerful jaws, strong teeth, robust skeletons. Life was brutal. Their bodies adapted accordingly. But agriculture and domestication altered everything. Food became softer, more processed, more predictable. Our jaws shrank. Our teeth crowded together. Wisdom teeth became a problem. Posture changed. Activity patterns changed. Entire lifestyles changed. The bodies that had evolved for wilderness survival were suddenly living in artificial environments. And those environments were reshaping us. We didn't just select for tameness in animals, we triggered it in ourselves. Consider the MYH16 gene. It's a primary driver of jaw muscle development. As our diets softened through domestic reliance, this gene degraded. We literally traded our structural integrity for soft, cooked calories. We didn't simply domesticate animals. We entered a system that domesticated us back. Not intentionally, not consciously, but gradually. Generation by generation. Choice by choice. Dependency by dependency. Our brain volume has actually decreased by about 10% over the last 20,000 years. We became smaller, more docile, and more socially integrated, the classic markers of Domestication Syndrome. And then came the point of no return. Because once humans became dependent on animals, there was no going back. Imagine waking up tomorrow and losing every domesticated animal on Earth. No cattle, no chickens, no sheep, no horses, no dogs, no goats. Civilization would collapse. Food systems would fail. Supply chains would break. Entire economies would unravel. Our world is built on a partnership that began with a few curious wolves approaching a campfire. That tiny interaction never ended. It expanded until it consumed the planet. Today, the majority of large mammals on Earth aren't wild. They're livestock. Think about how insane that is. After millions of years of evolution, the planet is now dominated by animals engineered to serve human needs. And humans have become dependent on their existence. Neither side can easily escape the relationship anymore. Which raises a disturbing question. Who actually won? Did humans domesticate animals, or did domesticated animals domesticate humans? Because look around. We shape our schedules around them, our economies around them, our agriculture around them, our medicine around them, our history around them, our future around them. We claim ownership. But ownership isn't the same as freedom. Dependency cuts both ways. The wolf that approached a human campfire thousands of years ago couldn't have known what it was starting. Neither could the humans. Neither side understood they were creating a biological alliance that would reshape the planet, an alliance that would survive empires, outlast kingdoms, cross oceans, conquer continents, and alter the evolutionary destiny of two species forever. So, the next time you see a dog sleeping on a couch or a cow standing in a field, don't think of them as pets. Don't think of them as livestock. Think of them as living evidence. Evidence of the moment humans made a deal with nature. A deal that gave us food, protection, civilization, and unprecedented power, but also disease, dependence, and a permanent separation from the wild world that created us. Because when humans first tamed wild animals, we thought we were changing them. The truth is far stranger. They were changing us too. And thousands of years later, they still are.